Cookie is really the first lifestyle magazine for parents, rather than a parenting magazine for parents. We don't really focus on ages and stages to the degree that the other parenting magazines do. They do it very well. We are focusing on the lifestyle aspect of parenting. Cookie's typical reader is a composite of lots of different moms that we know, but somebody who's really interested in maintaining her sense of self. We get a lot of pitches. The big no-no is, I'm a mom and motherhood changed my life, because we're all there. There has to be a different sort of point of entry. I think that you have to imagine that we're filtering all of this information, whether it's health news, development news, all of that kind of stuff. We need a fresh point of view, whether it's a new piece of research or just shedding different light on a subject that's sort of already been discussed to death.
This idea has been simmering for a while. Again, it's born out of my own personal experience, so it's been, I carry it around with me. But most recently, I took a media bistro class in Boston for Boston Magazine, and I pitched a similar story to Boston Magazine, and the editor there said, why not pitch it to Cookie? And then I went to MediaBistro.com and I saw this contest, so it seemed perfect timing.
Either the idea has to be slamming or the writing has to be slamming, and ideally it's both. We can usually, massage an idea in, a great idea into some great form. When you have the sort of great writing and the great idea in one place, it's a slam dunk.
I'm incredibly nervous. Writing is so important to me, but what I do is writing, not talking, so I'm very nervous about it.
We do accept a lot of freelance pitches, but things get heavily massaged in the process. A freelance pitch can give us a great germ of an idea that we will then coax and massage and really fine-tune and whittle into shape.
I think my piece will be a good fit with Cookie because it's something new. I haven't seen it done by this magazine or any other parenting magazine ever, really. If it has been done, it hasn't been done in a while.
The environment really fosters a kind of irreverence, or at least a vulnerability, because I think one of the problems of motherhood as it is discussed and portrayed in the media and in other places is that everybody has to have this kind of Pollyanna, beaver cleaver sheen, and I think that we embrace this honesty that you don't see in a lot of places.
Oh, best case scenario would be just to have my story published in Cookie Magazine. That would be terrific.
I go in, I speak brilliantly, every word comes out just the way it would if I was writing an email, which is what I really know how to do. And it's so brilliant that the editor immediately says, oh, I'll buy that, and I'll pay lots of money. That would be the ideal.
The best case scenario is I pitched my idea to Pilar and she loves it and she says, can you write it for me tomorrow?
Can't really think of a worst case scenario because I'm here today, and that's a great prize in itself.
We want to see that the person knows their subject matter. I think that's number one. I'm a sucker for hardcore reporting. The thing that I would look for in writing and in a written query and in a verbal query is knowledge of the magazine. And I think that if there's going to be a departure from whatever format we have, then there has to be the sort of acknowledgement that there's a format in place and why this would be a better way to approach this kind of story for whatever reason.
The worst case scenario would be that the editor says, that is the stupidest idea I ever heard of, and how did you have the nerve to come in here? Then I'll go home with my tail between my legs.
I think there's nothing more annoying to an editor than, I'm sure you've heard this a million times, but there's nothing more annoying than somebody who hasn't read the magazine, but especially with a parenting magazine, they assume that because they're a mom and they've maybe flipped through 3 pages that, that they're the expert on your magazine or something, or what would be right in your magazine. And really, we really look for people who understand the point of view of the magazine, which is quite different than the point of view of other parenting magazines. And you can tell right away, again, whether it's a written pitch or a verbal pitch, whether they get it.